Training for my first MA1 tournaments this week, and I honestly can't play the courses because I live and travel full-time in a van. So the main thing I'm doing is field work and practicing putting, which leads me to what I want to share with you today, because I've started to figure out why I'm missing so many like 30-foot circle's edge putts. Personally, I straddle putt, but this will work for you whether you straddle or inline putt, because I used to be an inline putter. 15 feet, I feel pretty good about it. 25 feet, I still feel very comfortable. Normally giving it enough height. I didn't warm up for this video, which is probably a really bad idea. But when it comes to getting out here all the way to 30 feet, there's three things that have helped me to go from this, skying it all the time, to this. Wow, that was actually first take, back to back. Nice. The first major tip is something that I've really had a bad habit of doing, and that's when I'm putting, I release like this. And my chest is facing down towards the ground, and my putts just go into the ground. So the first thing is pretty simple. It's just standing up, keeping your shoulders back more, and then your putts are higher. Much easier way to keep myself up at the basket, but I still need to think about the other two things as well. The second big thing that I noticed was how I was following through. Sometimes when I get further out here, the thought is, if I just raise my arm up higher, it's gonna be a lot easier for it to get to the basket. The problem is the aim is a lot harder with that, but everything just goes over the basket. But honestly, I would step up the putts, get here, say, okay, I need to commit to the putt. And then I'd throw my arm at it and just sky the basket for no reason. Instead of following through upwards, you need to follow through towards the basket. I've heard people say that you need to like shake hands with the basket and open your hand and shake hands with the basket like this. Following forward instead of up is important, and that full extension. So when you follow through forward, you're honestly, when you're this far back, sometimes on your tiptoes, but really focusing on following through forward helps me to get it closer to basket height instead of skying it, and it's much more repeatable. Just hit the middle of the basket with my follow through. This also just goes to show everyone just needs more practice. Come on, buddy. Honestly, a lot of the reason I was missing those putts right there is because I wasn't listening to the third thing that we need to talk about. But real quick, let me know what other tutorial kind of things you want to see, because even though I'm not perfect, I just want to show you everything that I'm learning on my journey to hopefully eventually play on the Pro Tour. The third thing that I find really important when you're lining up these longer putts, and this is a good tip for all of your putting form, is to make the motion as repeatable as possible, which means there's less moving parts. When you're adding putts from further back, you need to put more spin on the disc to keep it in the air longer, obviously. And so the third tip is to keep your wrist cocked back as you go down, and then as you release, releasing open forward towards that basket, and kind of bringing it all together to have my chest up, cock my wrist back before I go down, bring it down, and open up towards the basket. Just like that. Honestly, that really helps me. For some reason, I get more distance every time I do that. Maybe it's just because I'm releasing some tension, but these three things have really helped me to get much more consistent at these 30 footers, and at least giving myself a chance, because they're all basket high. Obviously, I still need practice, like everybody needs practice. Two more quick bonus tips is, one, have a routine. I've heard that using kind of a metronome can help. So I've started really going 1, 2, 3 and releasing on 3. 1 brings it down, 2 up, and then 3 releases. And one other thing that's honestly helped me more than I thought it would is just telling myself before I make the putt that I'm a good putter and that I can make this putt. Obviously, I have to back that up by practicing, by making those putts, but the more I've done that, the more putts I've made. But even to get these looks, you're gonna need to make sure that you're putting the disc inside the circle, and there was one course that I played that really helped this out, and I did a challenge there that I think you should too at your local pitch and putt course. So check this video out to see what that was and how it'll improve your game as well. Well, here's something dumb. When I filmed my video, my 30-foot mark was, I stepped it out, it was 37 feet. That's why I need a rangefinder maybe.